And tonight, voters had the opportunity to hear from the leading candidates for California governor.
6 candidates squared off in a televised debate in a crowded race. 2 leading Republicans, Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, and 4 Democrats, Katie Porter, Tom Steyer, Javier Becerra, and Matt Mann.
News 8 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh has a recap of the key moments.
For Politicos, the focus of the debate was if anyone could stand out, specifically if the 2 Republicans could differentiate from one another, and for Democrats, if Javier Becerra and Matt Mann, who've gained traction since Eric Swalwell's exit, could make an impact.
The new leading candidates square off, and who will separate themselves from the pack.
Wednesday night's debate featuring Republican Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco and Democrats Tom Steyer, Katie Porter, Javier Becerra, and Matt Mann covered everything from the state's high gas tax to its homelessness crisis to jabs between some candidates.
We don't need a billionaire who made his money in private prisons and oil and gas that he's now supposedly against, or Trump's hand-picked candidate or a D.C. insider who the Sacramento establishment is now rallying around.
On homelessness, a soft A grade for Governor Gavin Newsom from Democratic candidate Javier Becerra to a strong F from the Republicans.
But I would probably give him a B on homelessness.
I'm going to give us all, though, a D on implementation.
On effort, I would give him an A.
I think we've just learned of the failure of the California education system, too, if we can't even realistically assign grades to failure.
I'd love to be in your class, Katie, if you get a B for what Gavin Newsom's done on homelessness. My goodness, of course it's an F.
Critics of each other's views, from Matt Mann to Tom Steyer and from Javier Becerra to Steve Hilton.
You know, the only housing Tom Steyer's built has been private prisons and ICE detention centers.
Well, it's interesting to watch someone who has served as a talking head on a Fox News program telling us how government should run.
And the chance for candidates to respond directly to issues facing their respective campaigns. For Mann, how he would promise to work for voters, not Silicon Valley, despite being backed heavily by wealthy tech executives.
I am not afraid to regulate big tech or any other industry.
For Becerra, knowing about the rumors against former California Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Eric Swalwell while he was a Democratic leader.
Rumors are not facts, and the caucus, the Democratic caucus, is not a place that adjudicates those things.
For Bianco, his controversial seizing of Proposition 50 ballots in Riverside County following reports of alleged fraud, and whether he'd do the same should he not agree with the results of the primary election.
This is an absolute ridiculous question. This is a ridiculous topic because we have an allegation of voter fraud.
For Steve Hilton, his endorsement by President Donald Trump, who is deeply unpopular in California, according to polls.
That we will have a constructive relationship and partnership with the federal government.
For Porter, her controversial treatment of a staffer and a reporter and what she'd advise her kids to do if their bosses treated them the same way.
If somebody is treating you rudely, you should speak up. And that's what I would want my children to do.
For Steyer, his being a billionaire wanting to tax other billionaires.
But I'm not the only billionaire in this race. The billionaires and corporations are spending big in this race to oppose me.
Another interesting question to all candidates, whether they would support their party's nominee should they not advance as the top 2 vote getters. All the Democrats said yes, so that no Trump-backed Republican becomes governor. Steve Hilton said yes, but Chad Bianco confidently said no because it will be him and fellow Republican Hilton advancing. Jenny Huh, News 8.